Hey, and welcome to Fool Time. I'm your host, Sam, and this is Hal. And of course, this is the only TV show where we try not to look foolish. Right, Hal?
Right.
That's right. And today we're going to be working on a grandfather clock. Of course, everybody knows that when building a grandfather clock, you need a grandfather. Right, Hal?
None here.
None here. No here. And of course, we need a clock, but we'll get to that later on. First off, I think we probably need a tape measure. Hope, Hope, could I get a tape measure?
Absolutely, Sam.
Thank you
Hi,
so
Al.
much.
Hello, Hope.
All right. So now that we've got our tape measure here, now what is the general rule when using a tape measure?
Measure twice, cut once.
Measure twice, cut once. That's right. And of course, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting some wood, and we need to have some wood. So Hope, would you mind bringing us out some wood here?
Absolutely, Sam.
All right. Oh yeah, that's good. Now Hope, if I were to hit this wood with a hammer and a nail, would you call this petrified wood?
I don't think so, Sam. This is actually special pine grown in northern Canada. You can tell by the closely placed rings that it was a very slow-growing pine tree. Everybody knows that.
Everybody. Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows that. All right, so now that we've got our wood in place here, and we've got our tape measure, now what we want to do is we want to make that cut. And now what kind of cut do you think we probably need to make with this?
Square cuts.
Square cuts. All right, square cut. So what we're going to do is, this looks like it's about a 3.5, right? It looks like 3.5. What? But it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be 3.5? Well,
Close enough.
every tape measure is different. All right, so now what we need is we need a hammer. So if I can get a hammer, Hope, and
You got it, Sam.
thank you so much. And then so you brought your own. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to hammer a nail in this because we want to go ahead and get this thing started. Now the thing about hammering a nail is, that's a good idea.
Very good idea.
Wear the safety goggles. All right, so what you want to do is you always want to make sure that you put your fingers right over the nail. Right? Right, Hal?
Right on.
All right. And then you're just going to give it a good whack, right?
No pain, no gain.
Cut the commercial. And we're back. I just wanted to remind everybody to make sure that you're always playing it safe when you work with tools. Right, Hal?
Right on.
Right on.
It's time to have some fun. Light Talk with Sam Beman. We got skits and interviews. We got everything but the blues. It's on. Light Talk is on. Light Talk with Sam Beman.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam Beman and you're watching Light Talk. Now today we've got a great show lined up for you with one of my personal friends who I think is hilarious. Now I do a lot of clean comedy shows, but I keep telling my friend that I would love for him to do a show with me because his stories, they just make me laugh. They make me laugh until I cry. In fact, I feel like I'm going to cry right now just thinking about one of the stories that he'll be telling coming up soon. His name is Ken Mull. And he actually has a hobby that's also very impressive, which is woodworking. And some of his work, it grabbed my attention, and I said, hey, why don't we show some of that on Light Talk? Also, later in the program, we're going to be talking to my friend John C. Morgan, who some people know him as a George Bush impersonator, as well as a Trump impersonator. It just depends on where he's at in the country. Anyways, I hope that you're ready. So stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. She said, is it because you're getting fat? She said, you have grandpa hair.
Ooh, just come on.
What is the definition of bad?
Well, that would be magical, that's Mickey Mouse.
It's a clock. Okay, great. Yes, I remember when Willie Nelson did that. I just like the way it makes my cowboy boots look, You try it all right. I'll whip your hands. I'll whip them.
Blame it all on my roots.
I showed up in a suit, and the coffee was brewing during prayer. Don't give me a light, you are contagious. Don't give me a light, your body please.
I got married, and the very next month, I was diagnosed with children. Yes.
And we're back. Look, my first guest is, he's funny. A lot of his stories, like I said, they make me laugh. Every time that we run into each other, he's always telling me something that has me cracking up. So he loves fishing, but he also loves woodworking. Please welcome Ken Mull.
Thanks, Sam.
Hey, you're welcome. I know I've told a lot of people that I just love being around you, and it's true. I mean, we've been friends for a number of years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even remember how long. I mean,
I don't either.
12, 15, 20, I don't know. But I've always appreciated your heart, your friendship, and I'm just fascinated by all of the things that you know. It seems like you have so much knowledge. It's just amazing, and your stories. And so I wanted, because you have so many, but I wanted you to be able to just tell our viewers, tell me about one of the dog stories, because you got so many dog stories. It seems like it always revolves around a dog or a squirrel.
Who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't? They're amazing animals.
Oh, I know.
They really are. And I was in Florida visiting my girlfriend a couple of years ago, and she had adopted and brought home a black Belgian Malinois, which is a very energetic, very intelligent, very active breed of dog. If you're not familiar with Malinois, I can describe them best as like a souped-up German Shepherd on crack.
Okay. Okay.
They're wise. They're used mainly by, the Air Force, the Army. Most of your police dogs in the pursuit and takedown are Malinois.
Okay.
They are just fiercely loyal, driven, amazingly intelligent animals. And Laura had gotten this absolutely beautiful jet black Malinois named Ivy. And Ivy loved Laura. There was no doubt about it.
So they have a strong connection?
Oh, they had a strong bond. And matter of fact, Ivy was very protective of Laura and showed that. Every time Laura would walk by, I would get a nip in the butt, even though I wasn't doing anything but just standing there. That dog would let me know that she loved Laura. Mm-hmm. So Ivy did a little bite work of her own, and that led to Laura wanting to put a muzzle on her.
Oh, okay.
When we would take her out to the dog park.
Okay.
And she got one of these nice wire Hannibal Lecter muzzles and put that on Ivy.
Okay.
And Ivy was, I didn't call her Psycho Puppy for nothing, because she was kind of crazy when it came to dogs. She was a little nuts, but we loved her anyway. But at the dog park, I don't know what game we were trying to play or what she was doing. She couldn't play ball with her. Obviously, she had a muzzle on, so she was running off 30 yards and running back at full speed and jumping and hitting me with the muzzle.
Oh, man.
Just hitting me with a muzzle in the chest. So after, I don't know, 2 or 3 times of that, and she would run and make that loop and come back, I started putting my hands up.
Yeah.
Try to fend her off and do that.
Protect your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
And I guess Ivy says, "Oh, I got him now. He's figured this out. He won't figure this out." So she came running back at me, straight on. I put my hands out, and that muzzle went right in my groin. And she about flipped me head over heels in the dog park.
Oh, no.
And yes, it hurt. And yes, people laughed, and I cried, and Ivy probably laughed the rest of the way around the dog park.
So if anybody had phones out that day, it probably won on America's Funniest Home Videos, right?
If it had been YouTube or Facebook Live, I would be one of those viral videos.
Yeah.
But
well, you have
never underestimate the intelligence of a Mal. They will get you one way or another.
I will now be thinking of that. I'll make sure that I'm like this.
She was a smart girl. Very smart.
Well, I like to thank you for sharing that. I'd like I like to talk about your love for woodworking. I mean,
Okay.
you've loved this ever since you were a child, and one of your biggest influences was your uncle.
My Uncle John,
Okay.
absolutely. My late Uncle John, yes.
And so you would see him create things in his shop.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
that led to an interest of you pursuing it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I've seen some of the work that you've done, and I just want to show our viewers here. So this here is this is a bookshelf
Yes.
that you've done. And did you create both of these? or-
Yes, both of those. The lighter colored bookshelf in the middle of the picture there
Okay.
was one my mom asked me to build for her while she was alive.
Okay.
She loved her books and wanted a bookcase that matched the rest of the furniture in her condominium, but she wanted it to be sort of lightweight, airy. She was concerned about the musty smell off the book, so she wanted a bookcase that could breathe.
Yeah.
Not really a three-sided box. She wanted a bookcase
Yeah, it's very
where
well
air
ventilated.
could flow around the sides
Yeah.
and around the backs of it. And I had a lot of red oak on hand, and I loved the mission style or arts and crafts style of furniture. So I sat down with a pencil and some paper one night and sort of sketched out an idea for a mission style bookcase that would give her all the features she wanted and be able to be taken down and transported in a car or a truck.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
that it could be, disassembled. That was the design I came up with. That was finished in a finish that matched her furniture. And on the right side, you see a second one I built and stain that
That's
in
what I was
more of a
gonna
darker, a darker walnut stain. So those are both made out of red oak. Both are the same.
That's amazing, and I'm going to change this here. This is now I made the mistake of thinking that this was a miniature grandfather clock, but this is
No, that's actually what was called a Vienna regulator style clock.
okay.
They were made in Germany in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
The detail is amazing.
They had very precise movements, hence the name regulator.
Okay.
Regulator clocks were used in rail depots and banks, anywhere where you needed precise timekeeping. That is what you're looking at there is a clock case curio cabinet.
Okay.
In later years, clock movements don't last forever, so when they wear out and break, if you don't you don't put a new movement in the case,
Okay.
a lot of times people will repurpose those clock
They'll
cases
gut it
and
out.
put some shelves in it
Okay.
and make a curio cabinet out of it.
Okay.
So that was a curio cabinet made out of a clock case. There you see some of the details in the on the clock case, the moldings, the finials,
And
the plinth blocks.
you made all of these pieces as well.
Yes, every wooden piece on that was made out in the shop.
Goodness. That is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. That
This
is
one here?
also a regulator clock. That was made out of American cherry, and that was a copy of the Ansonia Clock Company's Capital clock, which, if I recall, won an award in one of the Paris Design Expositions, I think in 1879. So that was the
That's
one
beautiful.
of the clocks you could buy in the 1870s and 1880s.
I remember seeing, I believe I remember seeing this at your house.
Yes.
And I think that's what grabbed me because
Okay.
I thought you bought it somewhere.
You thought I bought a kit then.
Yeah, I thought you bought, and you were telling me that you had made this, and I'm like,
I bought a set of plans.
That's,
I bought a set of plans
but it's just,
and then had to decipher the plans and figure out the dimensions and
I want to, here's another image we're just switching to. So this is a boat. This is a model.
yes.
Now, and,
Yes.
and I have to let our viewers know that we're not looking at a model that someone would buy from a store.
No.
This is not a Hobby Lobby model. This is,
Oh no.
you built all of this
Yes.
that we're seeing here.
Yes.
And it's actually modeled after let's see, I believe we have a picture
Modeled
here.
after a real sailboat. Yes.
Because I know that there was and I mean the attention to detail in this is just phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
And how long did it take you to build this boat?
I want to say 4 to 6 months of a few hours here, hour there, hour here. Once the ball got rolling on that project and I started thinking about things, it just kind of went out of control into a wormhole of detail and then more detail and then more detail and then more detail. But I had always wanted to do something like that since I was a little kid, and the opportunity came up. So I jumped on it and stayed there obviously a number of months. But everything on that was built out in the shop from whatever I could find. There was some aluminum wire left over from my grandfather's estate that I had hung on to for years. There was little pieces of dimensioned metal shims I'd collected over the years. I was able to cut out and use pieces from, and that's mostly just wood that's been shaped and sanded and painted. But it was just a fantastic little project. It makes a nice little centerpiece in the living room, and
I bet you probably turn a lot of heads when people come by.
Yeah.
Is this a conversation piece?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, between this and the clocks and
absolutely
the bookshelves.
I had posted some pictures of that to the sailboat owner's website, specific to that model sailboat, and there were people that actually confused the model with the real thing,
I believe it.
Which was flattering, very flattering.
Yeah, I mean, when I first pulled up one of the pictures here, I was like, oh, this is great. Like, whose boat is this? You know, because I didn't realize what I was looking at to begin with.
Well, thank you.
Because it is so detailed. Ken, you are extremely creative.
Thank you.
Very knowledgeable, and again, I thank you for coming on the show today. If anyone wanted to get a hold of you for any projects, would you like for them to contact you at all? You know, through your Facebook page?
That would be fine.
Okay, so they just look up Ken Mull or Kenneth Mull?
Kenneth, yes.
Kenneth Mull.
Yeah.
All right, so if you would like for Kenneth to be able to build something for you, then you can write to him, friend him on Facebook, and tell him that you saw him on Light Talk, and you guys can take it from there. And
sounds good.
So if you've got something you've been dreaming up, because I know you also built a cross pulpit for a church before, and
many years ago.
Yeah, and that was, oh man, I couldn't believe the way that was constructed, and it had it opened up from the back, and you had a light and everything. Oh man, it was.
That was probably the highlight of my design and build career. That was an all original design that
and it
that
made
was probably the pinnacle.
And it made quite an impression with a lot of people. So thank you again, Ken, for being on the show today. We've had a lot of fun, and so be sure to friend Ken on Facebook. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with my next guest, John C. Morgan, in just a moment.
The economy right now has been kind of bad, hasn't it? It's been kind of rough, been kind of shaky, you know. But if you ask some of the presidents, you know, what they think, you know, you may have a different perspective. You know, like if you ask President Obama, he'd say, now, the economy is actually doing pretty good. And if you ask Bill Clinton, he'd say, what is the definition of bad? And if you ask Donald Trump, he would say, the economy is doing very, very well. In fact, I should know because I put together the economy and I'm going to build a wall to keep out anybody who would want to destroy this great economy. You know, that's Donald Trump right there. But if you would ask, thank you, Charles. Charles just wants to get that clap in there. And if you ask George W. what he thinks about the economy right now, he'd say,
We're just going through a transmission period. Yeah, we got a shift. That's right. Great tag there, love it.
And we're back. Now, I want to check in with one of my friends here, who is actually at the airport currently. Please welcome John C. Morgan. John, how are you?
Good to see you, Sam. I'm doing great.
Welcome to Light Talk.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a little worn out.
You're a little worn
today.
out. Okay.
Got up at 4 o'clock this morning, flew in from Colorado, and spent the last 5 hours here in the Atlanta airport because that was the only way to get the cheap tickets. On my way home to Orlando.
Okay. All right.
But it's great to see you and great to talk to you.
Well, it's good to see you as well. I know it's been a long time since we've caught up with one another. The last time that we did something together, a skit, I want to say it was like maybe 2012 or 2013, somewhere in there. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Nashville, as I recall. Yes.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is the first time I remember meeting you was in Orlando when you, when the president showed up. Mr. Bush was in town. That's what I remember.
Well, he's never far from me, that's for sure.
Well, I hear that Bush is never far from you, and Trump is never far from you.
That's true. Trump is never far from the American people, and he's never far from greatness.
Have you done impersonations in front of these presidents?
I can't say I have. I met President Bush at the Warrior Open, his golf tournament in Dallas, and it was so fun. He hugged me, and Kathy got a picture of the two of us. So he made a really great comment that I've used many times since. But to my knowledge, he has not seen me perform unless he's seen it on TV or on the internet or something. But he was very gracious when we met. Very nice man.
Well, that's good to know. Now, aside from impersonations, I understand that you're also an author.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I've had the privilege of writing 2 books, and both of them Christian books, because I wanted to write something that spoke out of my own heart. My most frequently asked question as a George Bush impersonator is, how'd you get started? So I wrote my first book to answer that question. It's called My Life as a Bush and My Heart to Imitate Jesus. So it not only answers the question, how'd you get started? It also answers the question, why? And my new book is called War on Fear. What would you do if you were not afraid? Because I find that fear is the one thing that holds most people back from fulfilling the personal mission that's on their heart, the dream that God puts in their spirit. And God gives us each an opportunity to shine for Him. You know, the Bible says that we're a peculiar people, a chosen generation, and that we are gifted to stand out in this world in the same way that a star or the moon stands out against the dark blackness behind it. Our lives are meant to shine like stars in the crooked world we live in.
And I'm just curious, like, where do you get, where do you find the time and the discipline to be able to write books? This is something I've been wondering for a long time, because you have to be disciplined.
Yeah. Well, when you run out of procrastination, there's discipline.
There you go.
And people ask me how long it took me to write my first book, and I tell them it took about 30 years. The first 29 were procrastination, and the last one was actually writing it.
Okay. And so now that's a great tip about the procrastination. If anyone's watching right now and they're thinking, you know what, I'd like to write a book too, what would you say to that person?
What helped me the most, Sam, was partnering with someone
Okay.
that you trust, because it provided the accountability that I needed, because there was no due date. I didn't have a publisher breathing down my neck. It was just a matter of when I got done, I got done. So having a partner and setting up a schedule to work together and setting up a writing discipline, as you mentioned, gave me exactly what I needed to keep working until it was finished. And now I need to apply those same tools, because I find that War on Fear is resonating with people.
Okay.
Both my books have 5-star reviews on Amazon, but War on Fear particularly is helping people right now. And I have in my heart the desire to turn it into some sort of a master class. But again, I got to go right back to that same process and apply that discipline to getting that done.
Absolutely.
So just because you've done one thing doesn't mean you've mastered the art of being a disciplined person.
That's very
I'm
true.
getting there now.
I can see that. I feel like that with myself when it comes, because I've thought about writing a book also, but I just have not. I've not had the discipline. In fact, I will say this: I started, and I thought I need to find someone, kind of like what you mentioned, and I just, that's where the ball had dropped. So it was finding someone, and then I gotta stop procrastinating. That's just all there is to it.
Absolutely. And there's somebody that would love to help you with it. You just gotta locate them and challenge them, and when they say yes, don't let them out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I'm so glad that that you're doing well. You're still. I'm assuming if you're traveling that you're either speaking or there's a president.
It was right. It was a personal business trip.
Okay, gotcha.
Trip. And then when I get home tonight, and I get up very early tomorrow morning to drive to another event tomorrow. And so slowly things are coming back. I lost a lot of work when COVID hit, but it's coming back. I mean, being a Trump impersonator, and Sam, if any of your friends want to see me in action, they could go to GeorgeBushImpersonator.com.
Okay.
And they could, because right now I don't look like anything but a bum, but you know, when I'm in full suit surrounded by Secret Service, it's not too bad.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah. And then you could also go to Facebook.com/BushGuy, BushGuy. That's my Facebook page. And they could check out my daily Facebook live show.
Okay.
Called The John Morgan Show.
Great. They'll definitely have to check that out. Well, now, is there anything else as far as your book are the books, are they all on the website as well?
The first one is,
okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. The new one is War on Fear is on the website. The first one, you have to go to Amazon, but they're both great. My wife likes the first one better. I like the newer one better. But they're both very funny. As an award-winning comedian, I employed those tools to write a book that is very entertaining and at the same time designed to draw you closer to Christ.
That's awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for taking some time with us, because I know that you have such a busy schedule, but I'm so glad we were able to check in with you, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
All right.
And God bless you, Sam, and your wonderful audience.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I don't really know where my life is going right now. I could really use some help. That bright light doesn't help. I don't know what to do.
Hey.
Oh. Are you who I think you are?
Yeah. If you think I'm me, I sure am.
Wow.
Right here. Did you pray for a bush?
No, but you're here.
Well, maybe I should leave.
No. You could stay here. I could really.
That was a
use...
bush joke. Leave. Branching out. But hey, you've really lived a wonderful life. I mean, wouldn't it be a shame to throw it all away? Imagine what the world would be without you.
That's a good point. That's a good, but I don't even have a job, though.
Yeah, but hey, lots of people don't have jobs, but what they do have is something you don't have. What you need: hope,
Hope.
courage,
Yeah,
a
courage.
Heart,
What is
a yellow brick road.
Wizard of Oz. Yes, that's right. I need
You need a little comedy in your life.
comedy.
Doom da da doom da da doom da da ding. Bah! See?
I could be a comedian.
Well, I think you already are.
I am.
Yeah,
I am a comedian.
You're making me laugh.
That's-
I've been laughing at you since you started praying.
well, thank you for laughing at me. And
Hey, I'm laughing with you.
oh,
Bam.
Hank, I could be an impersonator.
Yeah.
I could be. I mean,
Let me see. Can you do let me see your impersonation.
okay. Bill Clinton. I am not a very smart man.
It's good. It's good. I there for a minute I thought I was seeing things. Peace out, man. I gotta go finish my burrito.
Well, is this a dream?
I don't know. Is Hillary in it?
No.
Well, then it's at least a good dream.
Oh.
We have had a great time on the show today. I hope that you've had a great time. Now, in my closing thoughts for today, something that I've been thinking of has been the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. It's something that a lot of times you've probably heard it said, but maybe you haven't really slowed down enough to think about that statement. Because sometimes we can take a look at somebody else's situation. We can take a look at their job. We can take a look at their money, their income. We can take a look at the people that they're with. We can take a look at just, you name it. Whatever it is, you're probably thinking, if I only had that, I would truly be happy. But the thing that a lot of people forget is that, well, with that saying is the grass may be greener on the other side, but a lot of people forget you still got to cut that grass. See, one of the things that some people may not think about is if I get rid of this, or if I trade this in for something new, or if I get to the next level, I'm truly going to be content. Well, you can be content with what you have and just work your way up. Now, if it's a job, you can work your way up. Work hard to get to that next level. Not just trade in something for something else that maybe you're not quite fit for. Yeah, maybe a lot of money, but maybe it's not quite you. So be comfortable where you're at. Be content. Always remember that that grass, it may look really good, but what you have is probably priceless. I'm Sam Beman. Thank you for watching Like Talk. Take care, and God bless.